Well, the following video is how to do these jack arches, Georgian arches, flat cambered arches, whatever you want to call them. But I've cocked the video up, and I don't know how I did it, but I did. I sort of started from the front to the back when I edited, so it does make sense. Watch it; you will make sense out of it. Yeah, I'm just sorry that's the way it went, and the problem was I finished it today, and formatted the card it was on and lost the whole thing. Otherwise I could have sorted it out, but I can't. But I think the content's good, and I want to put it out there because it just shows people how to do things. So just bear with me and watch it. Thanks. Right, a couple of templates. Only need half of them, and then you turn them around, they'll fit the other side. You can do it just with one. Just make one long one up, and you can mark all these cambers on it and put one mark along there, and you just travel it along and use it. But I just find it gets too complicated. It's too much information on it, so we don't do that. And that's about it. Right, the next thing is that the arch has to have a rise, because even though it's a flat arch, it's not truly a flat arch. If you don't do that, there's an optical illusion, and it looks like it's sagging. Funnily enough, if you do them as a flat arch on a lintel, it don't seem to happen. You don't get the optical illusion, but we're not doing that. We're putting them on a arch former, which will be made out of this. So the rules for that is it's 1/8 of an inch for every foot is a rise, or 3mm for 300 is how it is in metric. So what you do, this is 4 foot, so it's 12mm. It's a little bit less actually, I've given it 10. So you rise 10mm there, to nothing there, to nothing there, and then put these nails in. There's more than one way. You can get something like this and just bend it over there. It's not the best way, but it does work. Use a bit of plastic trim or anything like that, or you can traverse this. So what you do, you make this up, and that is from nothing, and that rises to the centre, your 10mm, and the same from that end, and you place that on there like that. Put your pencil there, imagine your pencil's there, and then you just slide that along that way and that way, and that gives you this arch here, that curve. Simple, isn't it? So I did a video some time back, let's scroll back and find it if you want to see it, about how to set these flat cambered arches out, Georgian arches, jack arches, whatever we want to call them. I think I said at the time, it really depends on what bricks fit and how you can do it, because it's not a true arch. So there's no rules, but there are some. The most common rule of thumb is that it's an inch, the skew back lays back an inch for every foot width of the opening. So if it's like this is 4 feet wide, then the skew back there will fall back 4 inches. That doesn't, that's about 5 1/4. So I'm guessing that was just done. I reckon that's the maximum width of the brick at the top there, and that's what they've done to make it fit. There's nothing wrong with that, but there are other ways of doing it. The earliest method was done of an equilateral triangle. So there's your triangle like that, and then these were just extended to form your skew back. Problem with this is that they found that because of the weight bearing down and the length of this, that these bricks here started cracking. It was just laid back too much. The true way of finding it is like this. So if you've got the opening there, yeah, and then you scribe that line down there with your compass, and then the same that side like that. You have that point there, you bisect it at that point there, and then that gives you your skew back. but none of these work on this. Not it matters, I'm working with what's there. But yeah, that's 3 ways of doing it. But I think that's the one to stick with really. If you go for new, is 1 inch to a foot. Some say 60 degrees as well, but it depends on the width of the arch, doesn't it? You know. Yeah, that's how you do that. Right, I've set the whole thing out. Sorry, we've got under fluorescent lights here, which is going to notice on the filming, but I can't do nothing about that. I've set it out on a bit of ply from the measurements we had up there. Obviously 10mm joints, it's changed a little bit. Bonded, you only have to set half of it out really to get it. And then the next thing you need to do is the skew back, work out the skew back. Hello, nice spot. Right, what we're doing, we're on these arches. We've got the job, we're doing it, so we've got to replace 1, 2, 3, 4 arches. I priced to do them gauged against another firm who was a bit dearer than me, and it was just far too dear for the customer, and I've got to go along with it really, because they're not that great, these arches. I mean, they're not, you know, they're not 2-3mm beds, are they? They're not that well done. You know, and I did say before about these cuts over the top. I was going to alter that and make the arches bigger or smaller. I'm not going to now. I'm going to leave everything as it is, because that's how it's supposed to be, and it was built like that, whether it was built right or wrong. We're going to leave it like that. So, got a few problems. They're all different sizes, these windows. They're all supposed to be about 4 foot, but well, that's the biggest. That's 15mm smaller. I think that one's 15mm smaller or 10mm smaller, and the one down there, down the bottom, is like 25mm smaller. So what we're doing axed arches, or sort of axed arch really. We're doing these cambered arches, but I'm doing with a 10mm joint, and then we're going to tuck point them. So it gives me a bit of scope. So you know, I'm not making 4 different templates up. It's a ridiculous job of going forever. So I'm going to use the one template fits all, and I'm just going to have to play about with it. The good thing is, you know, we've got 10mm joints, that gives me a bit of scope, and also it's been tuck pointed. You can hide a few things with that, but so it should work out okay. So let me show you how we do it. Right, I've made a couple of the arches. This one down here, just been sewn down here as you do, and there's this one here. So I told you on the setting out, I can't remember, you have a key brick, you have an odd number of courses in the arch, key brick, and then even numbers to the end. I'm copying what was there, starting off with a stretcher, but there's no rules on it, because if you look around you'll see them, some will start off an header the other way. That's preference really. I actually prefer this way, but yeah. So I've got another 2 more to make. Cutting out here, the old cutter. I had the dust extraction on. I took it off actually because the bricks are wet, and the dust is it's wet and it's dense and it's heavy, so it's not blowing everywhere. I'm wearing a mask anyway. So yeah, I just want to show you around the house quickly, because I want to end this video after this, and we'll get back to you when I start installing the arches themselves. Yes, it's a funny old building. There's about 4 builds here, I think, different builds. If you didn't know, you'd say this is the oldest bit. It looks the oldest bit. It's definitely the worst built, and that's the other 2 arches I've got to do there. It definitely does, but as you come round here you can see the bits done in yellow stocks. That is the original building without a doubt, and it's quite classy really. Understruck pointing, just show you that. That's a good example. So it's understruck, which is like weather struck but upside down. Not often done outside, but you know, it was fashionable at some times. That bay was obviously added on later. That's not, hasn't always been there. But what I want to show you is there's an axed arch up there, but they've got Queen Anne arches. Go back a bit so we can zoom in. Zoom out a bit. Can you see them? Queen Anne arches. Sign of wealth. When you go around here, you've got this more modern bit here. That's been added on, that arch there. This is the later build. Bit of radius work there. And this very strange, I'd have to work out how many centres that's got. Probably a 3-centred arch, but it's a funny little gauged arch, isn't it? But yeah, there's a lot of pointing to be done here. I don't know if we're doing it or not. And all this area is being done. Swimming pool. But yeah, that's the old building. Alright, I'm going to get on with my cutting and I'll see you in the next one.